Y'all come on in. We got about 2 more minutes left. We got about 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes before we get started. So y'all come on in. Come on in and we'll get started here in just a moment. I ask a favor, everybody that's in the chat, please let me know who you are. Let me know where you're watching from. Would like to say hello to you. Would like to say hello to everyone that is in the chat. We got 1 more minute. We got 1 more minute, and we're gonna get started. What's going on? Lean on me. What's going on? Hey, do me a favor. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit that share button. I need everybody to like and share this video. And we about to get started here. Hello, everybody. Hello. This is Brother Rumble with the Most True Podcast. I want to thank you for stopping by to check out this video. Listen, I'm going to ask you, if this is your first time watching, please comment down below with your name and where you're watching from. And if you are a regular watcher, you can do the same. Also, if this is your first time, please consider subscribing to the channel if you like this content, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified whenever we go live or whenever we post up new content. Guys, I know you're anxious to get back into the video. I thank you for taking time out to watch this commercial break. Without further ado, let's get back into the video. What is going on, everybody? Praise the Lord. What is going on with everyone? I hope everybody has had a wonderful weekend so far. Man, I've had a pretty good weekend, y'all. Man, I really haven't done much. Just kind of chilled around the house, relaxed a little bit. I had a pretty long work week, so I had a good chance to relax a little bit. Went to go see my mom at the center today, and she's doing well. She sends her love to everybody. But I want to say hey to everybody. I'm going to ask everybody, please comment in the chat. Let me know who you are. Let me know where you're watching from. And let me know how your weekend has gone. I would like to know, how has your weekend gone? Has it been good? Has it been challenging? Has it been relaxing? Has it been kind of nerve-wracking? Let me know, man. I want to be able to interact with everyone. So one quick announcement before we get started, guys. Before we get started, remember this. We are still in the midst of the $300 giveaway, trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. And I would like, once I get to 10,000 subscribers, I would like to bless one subscriber with $300. And if you have not joined, you still have time. This is how you can join. First and foremost, if you have not, I need you to subscribe to the channel. Then I need you to click the bell notification and turn it on to always. Take a screenshot of your subscription with the bell notification turned on and email it to me along with your name, Remember Media Group at gmail.com. Once you do that, you will automatically be entered into the drawing. And then once we hit 10,000 subscribers, which we are about 1,500 subscribers away right now, I will pull a name out of the barrel, and that person will win the $300. I'll reach out to you via email to let you know that you have won, and you can let me know how you would like to receive your money. All right. Well, brothers and sisters, listen, we are in a time of exposure. We live in a time of exposure. And scripture tells us that we, for one, be not deceived. God is not mocked, for whatsoever man sows, that shall he also reap. And it also lets us know that we to be sure for your sins will find you out. Now listen to me very carefully when I say this, guys. I am not a Democrat, I am not a Republican, I am not an independent. This channel is not here for political purposes at all, but what we do is we cover issues concerning the church, concerning God's people, and here lately God has kind of given me the release to touch on some social issues, and this is one of the social issues that I want to touch on. So today, brothers and sisters, we're going to be talking about President Donald Trump and the resurfacing of these Epstein files or Epstein rumors, because they still have not released the Epstein files. I do not understand why they have not released it. Well, I have my reservations about why they have not released it. And I'm going to share those reservations with you. And I would like to hear what y'all have to say in the comments about this as well. But listen, guys, this is the game that these news outlets play. All right, I want y'all to understand this. This is the game that the news outlets play. If you notice, when Joe Biden was in office, Fox News and all these other Republican-led news outlets begin to go into his life and finding out all the dirt on him, his son, different ones, right? Same thing happened with Hillary Clinton when Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton was going at it over the presidential election. All right. Same thing happened with Donald Trump. When Donald Trump won the first go round, everybody, CNN and different ones were talking about his collusion with Russia. Now, about 6 years ago, the nation was getting rocked by these Jeffrey Epstein scandals. And those of us that are still aware, we know about Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a man that was charged with human trafficking to the highest levels, supplying young girls to major CEOs, former presidents, future presidents, Saudi princes, even as far as parts of the royal family in England. He would supply these powerful people with young girls. Some of them would come to Epstein's home. Some of them, Epstein would fly out. And when Epstein got arrested, when they pulled the plug on his operation, he got arrested. A lot of files were seized from his home, files that had names of important people that he had a lot of leverage on. And we all remember that mysteriously somehow, Epstein wound up unalived in his jail cell. They said he hung himself. The jury's still out on that. But you have to understand something, man. When you start dealing with these powerful people, and we learned this from the Diddy situation. When Diddy got caught, people began to panic everywhere, because he had everybody that we could think of that were in music, the music execs, politicians, actors, lawyers, athletes, preachers. Anybody who was anybody was at these Diddy parties. And people began to go into PR mode, trying to save face so that they wouldn't get caught up in the Diddy scandal. Same thing happened with Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein was the very first one. When Epstein got arrested, these people went into panic mode. And you mean to tell me that all of a sudden, a man that had all the leverage in the world on so many people, I'm talking about documents, pictures, video, he got all this leverage. And you mean to tell me that he all of a sudden takes his own life in a jail cell? seems kind of weird to me. It seems kind of weird to me. So we're going to fast forward 6 years later. Donald Trump now is in his second term as president. And all of a sudden now, news reports are coming out on Donald Trump for his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. And women that came out on Donald Trump dealing with them when they were underage, all of a sudden these previous interviews that were done by numerous women that are claiming, I have to say allegedly because it has not been proven in a court of law, but allegedly these women have come out years ago when the Jeffrey Epstein was still hot. These women came out and they claimed that Donald Trump had intercourse with them at the age of 14. One of these women, her name is Christy. I forgot her name. I'm sorry. It slipped my mind. But this one young lady had came out and did an interview, and all of a sudden now her interview is going viral and resurfacing. And this is what I mean when I say, when they come for you, man. They do, man. Donald Trump has rubbed so many people the wrong way in this political game. So now they're doing whatever they can to get him out of office. Now, I want to say this to y'all. I am not a Trump supporter. I'm just somebody that's sitting back and I'm watching the game unfold because this is a game. It's a game. If this was President Obama, then guess what? There will be news reports coming out on him. And I'm not a fan of Obama. Trust me, I'm not a fan of Obama. I'm just using this as an example. If this was Bill Clinton, if this was George Bush, whoever it was, the opposite side of the aisle is going to dig up dirt on these individuals and they're going to put it in the media for their propaganda to get you and I to feel some kind of way. It's all about manipulating our feelings. Now, I'm not saying that what these women are saying didn't happen. I wasn't there. You wasn't there. Okay. But what I will do is I will play this interview. I got this off of Instagram from DL Hughley's page. Let me put it up here. This young lady, this is an interview from a young lady from about 6 years ago who's claiming that she is a victim of Jeffrey Epstein. And she's saying that President Donald Trump sexually assaulted her when she was 14 years old. Y'all take a listen to this.
Trump had specific.
Let me see if I can get the volume here. I want to make sure I can get the volume going here. Hold on one second, guys.
Specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter. And she said, well, she's 13 as well. So he knew the first time that he saw me. But he comes over mad because I was crying. And he said that I should be thankful that someone like Donald Trump took my virginity. Where he basically didn't say took my virginity. He said, I should be glad that someone like Donald Trump popped my cherry and not some pimply little 14-year-old. And I just was like, what if I said, what if I get pregnant? Not even talking to him. I didn't want to talk to him. I was talking to Tiffany. And he said, well, you'll get an abortion then, bitch. And then just walked away.
Why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
Donald Trump had specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter. And she said, well, she's 13 as well. So he knew the first time that he saw me. But he comes over mad because...
All right, her name is Katie Johnson. And Katie Johnson alleged that when she was 13, that she had sexual intercourse with Donald Trump through the coercion of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, we all uh, know how Epstein would do this. He would take these young girls, get them to do massages and this, that, and third, come all over his house and be over there. They're getting wild by, the prestige and all this, that, and the third. And he would woo them and groom them to the point where they begin to do favors of a sexual nature to Jeffrey Epstein and to his clients that would come either to his home or wherever he was. And now, this is why and the reason why I'm doing this episode is because I want you all to understand something. I want you to understand that we cannot think that we can do things in this life and think that things will not come back to you. Now, whether Donald Trump did this or not, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. You wasn't there. But what I'm saying is we have to be careful. We have to be careful how we move, how we do things, how we treat people, because stuff will come back to you. You will reap what you sow. And Satan will wait till you get to the height of your power or the height of whatever you are in life to bring it all crashing down. This is a what I'm finna show right here is a interview from CNN from Stacey Williams, who is Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend, and she's gonna discuss the relationship that Epstein had with Donald Trump. Y'all take a listen to this right here. Let's go.
Much for joining us tonight. As you know, Epstein is dominating the news once again, and his relationship with Trump is under scrutiny. While you were dating Epstein, can you tell us how close these two men were?
They were best friends. I dated Jeffrey for a period of more or less, I think about 4 or 5 months. And the only friend that he would mention every time we saw each other or had a phone conversation was Donald. And he would share a lot of anecdotes. I have plenty of anecdotes. And yeah, they were very close and they were up to no good.
And how did Epstein talk about Trump? Sort of what was the quality of those anecdotes and how he described him?
Well, there was a time when he mentioned that he had to check in on him because he was unwell and very upset about something that had happened. I remember because he was late to pick me up and he was explaining why he was late. They were just, it was such a long time ago, but it was just that was his bro, that was his wingman. It was clearly, I'd hear about Ghislaine and I'd hear about Jeffrey. And I met Ghislaine in his house. She would come wafting in and out the home in New York. So he was clearly just someone that he talked about all the time. And again, I met Jeffrey the second time when we started dating based on the reintroduction that happened at the Plaza Hotel at a Christmas party in 1992 that Donald Trump threw. And they were very, very close.
So let's talk about this incident, alleged incident in 1993, where you say that Trump groped you in front of Epstein. I do want to note that CNN has spoken to 3 friends of yours who confirmed that you told them about this alleged incident over past decades. Can you tell me more about what happened that day and particularly how Trump and Epstein interacted?
Yeah, before I get into the details of what happened, which, obviously I told you guys and I've shared with multiple outlets, the specifics of the assault that happened. I want to point out that I was polygraphed before I did all this by one of the most renowned examiners in the world. Michael Wolff has hundreds of hours of interviews with Jeffrey Epstein where Jeffrey confirmed to Michael what the two of them did to me long before I came out and told you all of this.
Wow. Wow. That's wow. This is what I want y'all to understand something, man. We don't know these people, man. These people that you see on TV, whether it's President Donald Trump, whether it's Barack Obama, whether it's P. Diddy, TD Jakes, you know, with Mel Gibson, whoever, you don't know these people. You don't know who people are behind closed doors. We give blind allegiance to people. We give blind allegiance to people and give them there's certain people that we'll give a pass to, and there's certain people that we won't give a pass to. Do you understand? We don't know them. That's right, Sister Lynn. We don't know them. Also, I want to say hello to Amber. Thank you for your comment, and please let me know where you're watching from, Amber, please. And I'm gonna ask everybody else in the chat. I want everyone that's in this chat to please comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from. Please hit the thumbs up video, and because I would like to interact with you. So I want everyone to say hello. If you don't say nothing else, just say hello and let me know where you're watching from. But I'm going back to make this point. You don't know these people. You don't know who Donald Trump is behind the scenes for real. You don't know who Barack Obama is behind the scenes. You don't know who Joe Biden is behind the scenes. You don't know who Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes, Tom Brady. None of these people that we give our allegiance to do we actually know. And then when things about their past come out, or things that they are currently doing come out, we are so quick to come to their defense without knowing the facts. We're so quick to dispel rumors without knowing if the rumor is true or not. This is why the Bible teaches us that you cannot know any man by the flesh. You got to know every man by the Spirit. Now, has Donald Trump done a few things that I agree with? I do. When he came out and made the executive order that said that there ain't nothing, that there's only two sexes, male and female, I agree with that. And I applaud him for making that stance. When he came out and he wanted to promote Christianity in putting, he wanted to get the states to start involving Christianity and prayer back in schools and stuff, I agree with that. Okay? I applaud him for that. But there's another side to this individual that we're finding out about. And should we just ignore it? Should we just ignore it? That's all I'm saying. I'm not throwing stones at the man. I'm not saying that the man is evil, that he's wicked. I'm not saying that he's a racist. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is we have to know the facts. They're saying these women are coming. Now, if it was one woman or even two, then you could be like, but so many women have came out from the time of Jeffrey Epstein to now, stating what has their different experiences. It's crazy. And this is what I don't understand. This is what I want to know. And this is my question to y'all in the chat. I want to know y'all's thoughts on this. It was so easy for us to go after P. Diddy. It's so easy for them to go after P. Diddy. Why is it so hard to go after Donald Trump? To find the truth is what I'm saying. I'm not saying throw the man in jail. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is let's get down to the truth of the matter. Did this happen or did this not happen? Because we have to know what type of leader do we have running over this country? Because whether y'all believe it or not, yeah, he did say that. He did say that, lean on me. He did say that. Whether y'all believe it or not, as the head is, so is the body. Case in point, when Barack Obama signed that same-sex bill, right? And we all could see that the head was agreeing with these same-sex laws. And what happened to the country after that? Look what followed after that. So if the leader of this nation is dealing with pedophilia, then what is going to happen? Y'all pay attention. Why is there so much pedophilia going on? Why so much? You're seeing more and more cases, whether you're in the church or whether you're not in the church. You're seeing more and more cases of young people or people coming out saying that when they were young, they were touched. This happened, that happened. And now you're seeing stuff. These stories are going all the way up to the top. So my question is this: why don't the government release the Epstein files? Release them. Release the names. What are we hiding? Who are you protecting? Who are you hiding? And I know the government's probably watching this. They probably are, man. I ain't gonna lie. The government's probably watching this live stream. I am probably on the map right now. I don't know. But we got to I'm sorry, man. We got to get to the truth. Why won't they release the Epstein files? They've even released the files from the Kennedy assassination. They've released those files. They've released the files from the MLK assassination. We done found out who killed Tupac and Biggie now. All these unsolved cases now, stuff being released. Why you can't release the Epstein files? Who are you protecting? Let's go.
So those are two critical data points that you need to have. And now I'll walk you through what happened. I was dating Jeffrey. He was always talking about Donald. It was his bestie and everything. And he was joking about how Donald thought I was hot and Donald thinks I'm this or whatever, wants to talk to you. And he was telling me this as we were taking a walk down Fifth Avenue one day. And he said, let's stop in and see him at his offices. So we went up to his office in Trump Tower. And within a couple of minutes, Donald was outside of his door and his hands were all over me. They were on my breasts, they were on my butt, they were on, my hips, up and down, while the two of them just kept having a normal conversation. I don't remember exactly what was in the conversation. Again, this was, we're talking 90, this is 93 now. It was something about, it was irrelevant. It was like, oh, Stacey's career's on fire. She just did Sports Illustrated again, blah, 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 blah. And they were back and forth, smiling and grinning and carrying on a conversation while Donald ran his hands all over me. And, when that happens in broad daylight in someone's office and an assistant's walking back and forth, you're in shock. If it happens in a dark alleyway, right, you defend yourself. But when it's hidden in its brazenness like that, which is Donald Trump's forte, you go into shock. So I froze and it was over and very quickly. It was a few minutes. And then we got back in the elevator and Jeffrey's energy had changed. He was like seething. He was enraged. He wouldn't make eye contact with me. And then we got out on the street on Fifth Avenue and he looked at me and he just started yelling at me saying, why did you let him do that? And he was so enraged. And then I remember thinking like, why did I? I felt like I was coming back into my body at that moment and I was confused. So that's the story of the assault.
And I do just want to note, Stacey, that Trump has denied these allegations, which you are well aware of. And I know at times you've referenced.
Hey, Big Daddy, thank you so much for your comment, brother. Please let me know where you're watching from. I want to say hello to you, and thank you for your comment. Let me know where you're watching from, okay? Big Daddy wrote he said, anti-Semitic cards are usually played when people are reminded the Talmud, I can't pronounce all that, I'm sorry. It's Jewish law that justifies pedophilia and I'm sorry, I'm country, y'all. I'm from Mississippi. I can't pronounce all these big words. I'm sorry. But y'all, we gotta understand something, man. This is people in power. People in power. And I want you women to understand this too. Because it ain't just people like Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. It ain't just a white thing. Black people do, black men in power do it too. Asian men in power do it too. Hispanic men in power do it too. Once you reach a certain level of wealth and prestige, a lot of these men look at women as objects, as sexual objects. They grope on you and touch on you and feel like they have the right to do so because they have all this money and prestige and power. Now, she was saying, let's just say that this happened, right? She's alleging, she's saying that this happened. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that this actually did happen. And Donald Trump groped her in front of Jeffrey Epstein. My question is, Jeffrey Epstein, if this is your woman and you claim to be a real man, why not go at Donald when he's doing it? Why get mad at her? Why get mad at Stacey when y'all get back in the elevator and get down to the street? Now you want to get mad at Stacey. Why not correct Donald Trump and say, hey, dog, keep your hands to yourself. Get your hands off her. You want to know why? Because of the power. The power. Man, listen, man, Bill Clinton did the same thing. This ain't just a Donald Trump thing, man. Come on, y'all. Are we gonna be for real? Are we really gonna throw stones at Donald Trump and just be like he the only one that did this? Bill Clinton did it. Bill Clinton did it in the Oval Office. And once again, let me tell y'all, I am not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not an independent. I am a child of God. I am a citizen of the kingdom. But I'm also on the side of truth. I'm on the side of truth. Every president from George Washington now is messed up, been messed up, served their own agenda. Let's just be honest. Bill Clinton did the same thing with Monica Lewinsky, man. Come on. For my Democratic brothers and sisters, your buddy, Bill Clinton, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. See, right there on national TV and lied. He lied. So let me say this now. It happens even down to the lower levels. We just saw it a few days ago. The that CEO that got caught at the Coldplay concert with his mistress, who was the head of his HR. This stuff happens so much, man. And then we get shocked and outraged when we find out. No, why not be shocked and outraged when the person comes to you at that moment and tells you that they've been assaulted by a person? That's why I say quit. If you really are a person of truth, if you really seeking after truth, then release the Epstein files. If Epstein was so terrible and he did all this wrong, he's a pedophile, and all the people that he dealt with were pedophiles, don't just pick and choose certain people that you don't like and go after them. No, go after everybody on the list. Go after everybody. Release the list. Release all the names. Release all the names. You want to know why they don't release all the names? Because some of them are Democrats, some of them are Republicans, some of them are independents, some of them are your favorite actress or actresses, some of them are your favorite ball players, some of them may be your favorite preachers. Man, that ain't no telling how many people on that list. And you mean to tell me that Jeffrey Epstein had all this leverage over all these people, and he decides to take his own life? Miss me with that, man. That doesn't happen.
No.
You miss me with. Let me ask y'all something. let me ask y'all something. Okay, I'm gonna ask Amber, I'm gonna ask Lean on Me, and I'm gonna ask Big Daddy. I'm gonna ask y'all three. I hope y'all still here in the chat. I'm gonna ask y'all three a question. If you had leverage over people, if you got in trouble and you had leverage on 200 people, 200 prominent, powerful people that you know could get you out of your situation, would you unalive yourself? Or would you be ready to drop them names? Let's just be real. I want to know from y'all. If you were Jeffrey Epstein, let's just say for argument's sake, and I'm gonna go back to the video. We got some more videos to play too. If you were Jeffrey Epstein and you had all this leverage on people, I'm talking about Saudi princesses, on the royal family, doggone politicians, ball players. I'm talking about the more powerful of the powerful. And you get arrested for human trafficking, and you know you got leverage on all these people, are you gonna unalive yourself? I don't think so. Lean on Me said, "Oh no, I'm not going for it. That's what I'm saying. So you mean to tell me he just hung himself in the jail cell? Come on, y'all. Let's be for real."
Videos, which we have not confirmed the existence of, but I know that you felt that this was coordinated later when you look back on it. What was it that made you draw that conclusion?
Well, I was sort of known in the industry for being somewhat combative with, photographers who would expose themselves or do inappropriate things, or even guys who would touch or harass on the streets. And Jeffrey was aware of that. And I think he was excited. I think the gist in my mind, given what he knew and the way it played out, was, hey, I'm going to deliver this person to you who's actually not going to let you get away with what you do. And I did, because I froze. Like I said, when it's hidden in its brazenness like that, you freeze. And, he's a master of that. So, I mean, he talked about it, right? He talked about pussy grabbing on the Access Hollywood tape.
And tonight,
wow.
If you're aware, President Trump has filed this libel lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal over its reporting that there was this note bearing Trump's name as a signature and an outline of a naked woman that was included in a 50th birthday album for Epstein in 2003, a note that also depicted an imaginary conversation between the two men. And part of it reads, quote, Donald saying, "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do. Come to think of it, Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me that the last time I saw you." And then finally, Donald, "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret." Trump called that letter fake. He said it was out of character for him because he never wrote a picture or drew a picture in his life. Wrote a picture, I think he said.
No,
it's not his kind of language. Based on your time with both men, does that sound out of character to you?
What, are you kidding me? I know what they were up to together. It happened to me. I was polygraphed. I have the post-assault postcard with a love note. So I have the receipts. Where are Donald Trump's receipts? Where are they?
And guys, let me tell y'all something. This ain't no old interview now. This interview happened July the 18th of this year. This interview that you're looking at happened July the 18th of this year. Now, I got another video I'm going to show y'all too. This video kind of goes in depth a little bit about the friendship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein a little more. Let's take a listen to this right here. Hold on, I'm gonna move forward just a little bit. Here we go. This is from MSNBC.
Now casting a shadow over his presidency as new details just keep coming to light. A resurfaced video of Epstein from a 2010 deposition raising more questions.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
But as the DOJ interviews Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell, we're seeing a disturbing shift among some MAGA faithful, some right-wing commentators appearing to defend Maxwell.
I do have a feeling that she just might be a victim. She just might be. She deserves to be out. And maybe she never deserved to be in there in the first place. I don't know, but I'm skeptical of everything and everybody these days, and you should be too.
Meanwhile, today, veteran Epstein investigative reporter Barry Levine laying out the road ahead in a new op-ed, posing questions he says need answers, like how did Epstein make his money to finance his criminal operation? Are there references to Trump in the files that shed more light on their relationship? And who exactly were the clients? Joining me now is the author of that op-ed, Barry Levine, author of The Spider, Inside the Criminal Web of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Barry, thanks for being with us tonight. So why do you think for so long those questions have gone unanswered?
Well, finally, we may eventually get down to the end of this road. And, beyond the journalists and authors like my...
Hey, guys, before we go any further, I need everybody please like this video, man. We're getting a good bit of people coming in, but no one is hitting the like button. We only have 2 likes on this video. I need everybody, please like this video, man. Do that for your boy. It ain't going to cost you nothing, man. It's absolutely free to like this video. All right, let's go.
Myself, who have been looking into this case for decades, let's finally get some answers for the victims in this case. I mean, we know from the Justice Department there's over 1,000 victims. Yeah. And I interviewed many women when I was working on my book.
Wait a minute. He said there's over 1,000 victims. Over 1,000. Look, wait, I got. Let's rewind that, man. Maybe I didn't hear that right. Maybe I didn't hear that right.
Victims in this case. I mean, we know from the Justice Department there's over 1,000 victims.
So you mean to tell me the Justice Department has noted that there are over 1,000 victims in the Jeffrey Epstein case? And you mean to tell me that there is no investigation? I don't care if the man is no longer with us. How there's not going to be no investigation? Thank you, Lean On Me, for your super chat. For that, you get an air horn. Yeah. Lean On Me says there's about to make a Ghislaine a victim. She is no victim. She is how men got the girls. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, this lady that was in jail that's sitting in jail. She is an associate of Jeffrey Epstein, Miss Grissom. I know I slaughtered her name, but she's sitting in jail. But she is the main one that she was the go-between between the girls, these young girls, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls, and the suitors that were requesting them. She would deliver the girls or help deliver the girls or coordinate the delivery of these girls to these men. Over 1,000. Over 1,000. So I'm sorry, man. She's not a victim. I'm sorry. Y'all can say what you want to say. You can say, Mr. Remember, you're being too harsh, but she's paying her debt to society because she knew it was wrong from the beginning. But you know what happens? That love of money. That is why Jesus told us that money is not the root of all evil, but he said the love of it, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Here comes the money. Here we go.
The love of money. And because when people love money, they'll do anything for it. They'll do anything for that money. Women sell their bodies on the streets for the love of money. Men kill other men for the love of money. People sell drugs that destroy communities for the love of money. People assault and RAPE people for the love of money. People lower their standards for the love of money. People allow people to do things to them that they would never let them do, never let other people do, because of the love of money. People selling their bodies on OnlyFans for the love of money. You got the porn industry is worth billions and billions of dollars because of the love of money. That is why Jesus said, he didn't say that money is the root of all evil. He said the love of it. And you know what is making me upset, because you know why these young girls are having a hard time. You can't tell me that these girls aren't traumatized. 1,000 girls. The Justice Department said there are over 1,000 victims, 1,000 girls traumatized. Probably will never trust another man. They don't tell them what these men did to these young girls. Bodies not even fully developed yet. And they did these despicable acts to these young girls. I don't care if Jeffrey Epstein is no longer with us. And I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all. Let me ask y'all this. Now, they telling us that Jeffrey Epstein was unalived in the jail cell. But let me ask you this right here, guys. Have you seen the body? All right, I'm not trying to go off into conspiracy theory, okay? I'm not trying to do no conspiracy theory or nothing like that, but I'm just asking you a question. Did any of us see the body? Did any of us see the funeral? Does any of us know where he's buried at? So how do we know that he's truly unalived? How do we know that he wasn't whisked away into another country? How do we know that a person that got that much influence on people, how do you know that they didn't pay to have his face reconfigured and sent him off somewhere? How do we know? How do we know this? Come on now. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just throwing something out there for you, though, to make you think. Let's go.
And I interviewed many women when I was working on my book, got to know them, what has happened to them over the years. They're still traumatized. They're traumatized by everything that's going on. Just over the past few years, we've lost 3 of the victims, one by suicide earlier this year, 2 of them from accidental drug overdoses. They have lived with the horrors of what happened to them for so long now. And for politics to get involved, for Donald Trump, President Trump, to call it a hoax, it's just wrong. We need to see the files, but for both sides of the aisle, and for the American public to finally understand what's in that material.
You point out in your op-ed that one of the areas in which we do not have much information right now is how Epstein made his money. Sort of the questions raised around a number of very sketchy transactions, and also how he might have leveraged money, not just made his money, but used that money. Senator Ron Wyden been very aggressive about pursuing the same line of questioning. Walk us through what more you want to know there and what you think the financial side of the story could teach us.
Well, it's the old follow the money. And it's so important now that we're finally getting to the roots of that. And I applaud the senator for making that investigation. He learned, for instance, that there were more than 4,000 wire transfers, totaling almost $1 billion of money that flowed eventually through Russian banks. You have to understand, Jeffrey.
Listen to y'all. Listen, man, let me tell y'all something, man. This ain't just no pimp on the corner telling the hoes, go get my money. No, this is white collar crime at the highest levels. You talking about over $1 billion worth of transactions being transferred through Russian banks and Swiss banks and all this. Man, this stuff, man, is on the highest levels, bro. On the highest levels. That's why, man, you can't tell me, man. Listen, the guys that you see on the street corners toting pistols and this, that, and the third, them ain't real gangsters, man. Them the Crips and the Bloods and all that, they in the streets or whatever, but that ain't real hardcore gangsters. Them real hardcore gangsters is people like Jeffrey Epstein, because you can't have in order for you to do this to 1,000 young girls, you can't have a soul. You cannot have a soul. You can't. And if Donald Trump was, quote unquote, best friends with this man, then Donald Trump, man, I'm sorry, bro, but you got some answering you got to do, man. Bill Clinton, you got some answering you got to do, because it's pictures of Bill Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein. It's pictures of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. It's pictures of Jay-Z and Diddy, and all of them got pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. All of them do. Your higher music execs got pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. Big owners of major corporations and CEOs got pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. You can't sweep this under the rug. This man had no soul. I'm sorry. You can't do this to people and have a soul. This is crime. This is white collar crime on the highest level. Blue collar crime on the highest level. I didn't mean to say white collar. Blue collar crime on the highest levels, man. Over $1 billion worth of transactions. Over $1 billion made off the backs of these girls. Literally made off the backs of these girls. And now this man saying that some of these girls have unalived themselves, drug overdosing, suicide, because their minds are messed up, man. And you think we don't need Jesus? You think this world don't need Jesus? You think that our government don't need Jesus? But we steady pushing them away. Steady pushing them away. And when you cut the light off, darkness automatically comes in. This is the world. This is the world, the side of the world that you don't see. This is what goes on behind the cameras that you don't see. Take your personal feelings out of it. Take your political allegiance out of it. And use the eyes of common sense. Look through the lens of common sense. Look through the lens of true justice. Look through the eyes of God if you can. You cannot tell me 1,000 girls. People got blood on their hands, man. Not just Jeffrey Epstein, but everyone that benefited from his business and everyone that helped him in his business. All of them got blood on their hands. Every last one of them. Hey, what's going on, Brother Joseph? God bless you, man. Please let me know where you're watching from, man. Please let me know where you're watching from. I would love to interact with you as well. But this man has just said that the Justice Department has over 1,000 victims, 1,000 girls messed up because of Jeffrey Epstein. And some of your favorite political figures, some of your favorite, Wake Forest, North Carolina. Go ahead, Demon Deacons. Hey, man, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I want to apologize to you for the way that my Ole Miss Rebels came to Wake Forest last season and tore y'all out the frame. I want to apologize to you for that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, we won't beat y'all like that bad again. Okay, I'm sorry. But over 1,000 girls, man. And you think ain't nobody gonna answer to that? See, people do this because you wanna know why it's so easy for people like in powerful positions like Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, President Obama, Bill Gates, and all these. You know why they can treat people like this and do people like this is because they have no fear of God. If they had a fear, if the fear of God was in the hearts of men, we will be very careful how we treat people. Because you're not gonna. I'm shocked. I am shocked. How in the world the Justice Department have over 1,000 victims, and the Epstein files have still not been released? How? Explain that to me. Who on that list is so worth protecting that you would rather risk the sanity of 1,000 girls, minds messed up, unaliving themselves because they can't live with what they went through? So you mean to tell me the people on that list is more important than the lives that have been damaged by this? Release the files. I need everybody in the chat that will please comment that in the chat. Release the files.
Epstein was running an international sex trafficking operation. And certainly in the last decade, that operation was being run out of his island in the Virgin Islands. He was ferrying in young women and children from Russia, from several other countries in Eastern Europe. And there were fixers involved. There were men who were putting these girls and children on planes and then taking them in boats to his island. We know from the Attorney General in the Virgin Islands, in her report after Jeffrey Epstein's death, that the workers at the airport saw children as young as 12 years old getting off of planes and being taken to his island. So there was a great deal of money that changed hands to make all of that happen. The airplanes, the boats, the fixers. At one point, he had his estate, or his co-executors of his estate, allegedly get involved in 4 sham marriages so they could avoid immigration issues with some of the women. Now, of course, his 2 co-executors of his estate have denied that they were aware of any wrongdoing. But we need to see those documents. We need to see.
You see what money can do? You see what money can do? You see how when you start making, as this man stated, billions of dollars in transactions, do you see what money can do? The love of money. These people were grabbing girls from airports, grabbing girls from wherever they could. These girls had parents. These girls had brothers. They had sisters. They had cousins, people that loved them. Some of them girls that you probably saw on the missing milk cart or on the missing flyers around your neighborhood were probably one of these girls, one of these Epstein victims. But this is what the love of money can do. Look how many pockets were getting paid. They were getting paid to kidnap and destroy precious lives. I don't care if the girls was acting fast. I don't care if they was being flirtatious. I don't care what they were doing. Ain't nobody got no business kidnapping and sleeping with no underage girl. I don't care what the girl done did. She underage. It shouldn't even happen to a grown woman. It shouldn't happen to a grown woman. But it definitely should not be happening to no underage woman. No underage girl. They not even women. They girls. They barely developed, man. Barely done started their cycle. This is why the scriptures tell us when the judgments of the Lord are in the land, the people of the land will learn to do righteous. I'm sorry, man. Because I'm thinking, man, I have a 18-year-old daughter and I have a 12-year-old daughter. I don't know what I would do if this was one of my girls. I don't know what, man. It would take Jesus, the National Guard, the army tanks. It would take everything and all that and more to keep me from getting my AR-15 and going to do some damage to Jeffrey Epstein. I promise you, man. I promise you. And everyone that is affiliated with him, I don't care if it's Donald Trump, I don't care if it's Bill Clinton, I don't care if it's T.D. Jakes, everyone that is affiliated or was affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein, you just as guilty as he is.
In a way to understand all of this. And we know that banks here in America, Chase, for instance, they had to pay out more than $80 million to his victims because they were accused in lawsuits of looking the other way. So we need to tally all of that money and find out, are there financial crimes involved? And that has nothing to do with actually how Jeffrey Epstein made his money. We know, for instance, at the beginning, he was a benefactor of Les Wexner, the L Brands founder. And also at the end of his life, he was a recipient of Leon Black, the Apollo Global co-founder in New York. Now, both of these men have denied any wrongdoing. Jeffrey Epstein was paid for tax advice, for financial services, for consulting. But that money went to, as the Attorney General said, some of that money went into his company in the Virgin Islands, Southern Trust, which she said was a criminal enterprise. So we really need to unravel all of that and find out if some of these international fixers or others who transported these girls or took part in this operation could be prosecuted.
They all need to be prosecuted. They all need to be prosecuted. Let me I got another one that I want to show. They all need to be prosecuted. I don't care who it is, man. Anyone that had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein, you need to be prosecuted. You do. I'm sorry, man. You do. I hope you find Jesus. I really do. You hope you find Jesus. I hope you get saved. I hope that you pray for forgiveness for your sins. But I also hope you get prosecuted, because if you had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein, you need to be up under the jail. Because that lets me know you know what this is. You know what he was doing. You know, man. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. Let's play this. Now, let me state something right here. These videos, like this particular video, they just want to highlight Donald Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. What I'm saying is, I'm not just saying that if Donald Trump had something to do with that, he needs to be held accountable. I'm saying release the files for everyone that was involved. Every single person that was involved in this disgusting business, they need to be held accountable and they need to be prosecuted. That's what I'm saying. Not just Donald Trump if he was involved or if he was benefiting, but everyone that was involved and everyone that was benefiting needs to be prosecuted. That hold on one second. That's all that it was showing. Hold on, let me get this back up. That's all it was showing. But we got to understand something, man. Now, I want to say this. Lean on Me says that Epstein got his startup money from Les Wexner. Les Wexner also funded Mike Jeffries from Abercrombie and Finch. Jeffries is indicted for trafficking boys. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. The higher that you go in this society, the more money you make, the more perverted it gets. Ain't no telling what these people do behind closed doors, man. That's why I say before you make your allegiance to a political party, before you make your allegiance to a president, before you make your allegiance to an individual, make your allegiance to Christ. I pray, man, I will, man, listen. 2025 has been a year, man. It's been 2024 and 2025 has been a year. I'm talking about from the time we started podcasting with the Daystar situation with Jonathan and Susan's little girl being assaulted to all the way to different people coming out on different ministers and different prominent political people, all the way up to right now with the resurfacing of these of Jeffrey Epstein. This I am up to here with the pedophilia. I'm up to here with it, man. I'm so sick of it. Like, I'm sick of it. When are we gonna put people's lives and well-being as priority? Because this should not happen to anybody's child or to any person. My heart goes out not just to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but to every single man, woman that have suffered any kind of abuse at the hands of loved ones or at the hands of the rich and powerful. My heart goes out to you. And I pray that you find Jesus if you have not. I pray that you get the healing that you need and that you seek the therapy and counseling that you need, because you're going to need that to heal properly. Guys, I'm about to get out of here, man. That's all my time. That's all my time. I pray that you have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful evening. Until next time, this is Brother Rembert. Remember, you are truly blessed in Jesus' name.